Hello, listeners. This is a friendly reminder that Edgelords of Barovia is a horror-based campaign, and as such, may contain material not suitable for all audiences. Details can be found in the episode description as to the nature of the horror and trauma in this episode. Thank you.
Welcome back, listeners, to Sultans and Dragons, Campaign 1, The Edgelords of Barovia. Last episode, we did a bit of a recap, and we're now picking up with our heroes having narrowly escaped the murder house and finding a letter addressed to them from Strahd. Alright, so last time we left off, you all had finished getting out of the murder house. What we ended up having is Lucy ended up going a little crazy, so we had to knock him out. You all made it out of there without having to face the great big monster of death. So we're gonna pick up with you guys outside of the house. As you all tumble out of the house, you watch in horror as it goes crumbling to dust. You hear screeching and wailing from inside, but still cannot fully accept that everything inside the house is gone. You can still feel the third eye of the messenger watching you as you all sit watching this house crumble. Lucy starts to come to. You all feel a bit of edge as he is speaking in Infernal and repeating that same phrase that you all have heard way too many times now. Drake, who happens to be the one holding Lucy still and does not speak Infernal, kind of looks nervously at the rest of you guys and just kind of was like, should we do something about this? Matthew, what would you like to do?
At this point, I feel like... Wait, out of character question. Wait, is Lucy still, like, waking up and doing that? Or...
You're starting to wake up, but you feel yourself instinctually speaking Infernal.
So I'm not controlling that.
Not completely. All right, so let me, this is your DM speaking, by the way, explain how our sanity system in Edgelords of Barovia works. At the start of the campaign, each character was given an additional stat known as their sanity stat. Depending on the character's backstory as to how tragic or messed up it was, they either started with a 10 or a 12, which gave them either a +0 or a +1 to any sanity saving throw. In the case of Lucy, Lucy started with a 10. Throughout the game, I will ask players to make sanity saving throws. Most of the time, these save throws are pretty low. 8s, 7s, 10s, nothing too crazy. But as these sanity saves start getting built up and players start failing them, each time they fail, they lose 1 point to their sanity save. So Lucy, who was at a 10, went to a 9, followed by an 8, and so on and so forth. Once a player reaches below 4 sanity, I get to take control of that player for a short amount of time. Thus why Lucy attacked his own party back in the death house. We now pick up here, outside the death house. Lucy has slowly gained back a little bit of it just from the fact of being in control again. And we'll see where it goes from here. Players can regain sanity by doing certain actions during their downtime, but this does take up half of their downtime action, giving them a short rest versus a long rest. So, now, let's get back to where we were.
And it's the saying that we've heard over and over?
Yes, it is that saying of, he is the one you cannot touch who touches you. He is the one you cannot see who sees you. All of that loveliness leading to the forgotten god.
It's all right, Drake. He's just repeating the same thing we've heard over and over and over.
Okay, at this point, if Lucy would just still be, like, waking up, and a little bit after he wakes up, he would notice that Drake's holding him, and he would try to wriggle free of the grasp.
Drake will not even fight you.
Out of the grasp, I stand up, like, straight, and I just look at the party, and What is all this?
Well, you missed the fun part. We reached the bottom of the house, and then we found an altar. You went insane, tried to kill our our cleric, and we beat you unconscious, and you missed the monster chase back up to the top of the house. And the house fell down, and we also got this lovely note again from Strahd. Or from whatever is Strahd.
That's not to take in. First off, he attacked me. I didn't attack him.
I did not attack you.
No, you clearly attacked me. The ghost were like, chanting one must die, and then you pulled out whatever it was, and then you attacked me. And so I defended myself.
So it was probably magic or something that made him see something strange.
Yeah, you were the one who attacked him first.
Can I say something?
By all means, please.
So this is gonna sound crazy. Been there, seen that, dealt with that. Kind of happens when you get bit, you go a little crazy. I'm gonna go with the fact that you're definitely not doing as well as you think you are with the whole craziness thing. Barovia has a sense of doing that to people. Drives you crazy. Especially when you're dealing with things that don't even belong here. But I'm gonna tell you this, Lucy. It's okay, just next time you feel the urge to kill somebody, please let us know. Just a little bit.
That wasn't even an urge. I was just defending myself from someone who was attacking me.
Well, next time you feel the need to defend yourself, tell us.
I thought we were better friends than this, Lucy.
I'm sorry. I will try better.
It's okay. Like I said, Barovia drives people crazy. Above all, people should know.
I do find this note that we got from Strahd a little weird.
Okay. Read it, I guess.
My dearest heroes,
I see you have met some of the locals. I hope the home of the Durst family showed you with much hospitality, although I will say the creature of 3 eyes known as the Messenger is no local around here. It is also unfortunate that the home of the Durst family was destroyed in the process, although sometimes we have to cut our losses. I am however glad that Rose and Thorn found such great people to haunt. Their parents would be so proud. I know of your plan to visit the graveyard and speak to the spirits of the past adventurers. I wish you luck. No one has ever gotten them to speak, and I doubt you will either. I also know of your suspicions around Darovich the priest, and I agree, he is quite a suspicious man. Perhaps you should go to investigate the church more and deal with anything you find down there. Or perhaps you might want to visit. Since you're so close to my own home, your sister is so lonely here now. Maybe you could find time in your busy schedule to have a simple meal, or perhaps not. Enjoy the sights of Barovia. Sincerely,
Strahd.
I am going to kill that man. Look, I think we're all exhausted. And I like all of you all, but I'm starving, and spicy food and sushi are smelling better and better by the minute. How about we all go back, take a break? We can't do anything till nightfall anyhow.
That's what I was about to suggest. We've been through a rough few days.
We should probably go back and rest for a bit.
God, I need to go find a cat down an alley.
Don't you have one? Just
That's a familiar.
No, as you watch Drake's familiar, fluff up to, twice her size, and she'll kind of, bark meow at you. It's okay, Rose. It's fine.
Wouldn't it be like a tweak
okay.
meow?
Something like that. And Drake will just give you this very, aggressive...
You're making him want spicy food more and more.
Yep. Gonna settle for some cat. All right, and from there, you all will start heading back to the mansion that Drake's family owned. Technically, Drake's mansion. Along the way, you guys will get to this as with every street in Barovia, a very lonely, desolate street. But unlike most of the streets, which really have nobody on them, this one actually has a single person. As you come around the corner, you hear the small sound of wooden wheels rolling across damp cobblestones. The trace up the lonely sound is a hunched figure, bundled in rags, pushing a rickety wooden cart through the fog.
Madam Ava?
And as you call out, Madam Ava, you will watch this hunched figure kind of tense and freeze, and then continue pushing her cart.
Jack walks after her, trying not to be very intimidating as he follows them, trying to catch them before they leave the fog.
Okay, so you're going to pursue this individual.
And I'll walk like 10 feet behind.
Anybody else going with?
I will go with them.
I feel like I need a break from all this, so I'm hopping off of Kno-it's back and going back to the mansion.
Drake will kind of look at you and go, why don't you just hang out here for a minute? It's not exactly safe to walk the streets of Barovia alone.
Especially with you going insane soon, too, you should probably stay with us. So we can beat you unconscious again in case you lose it.
As he will actually pull out a small notebook, rip out a page, and hand it to you.
Okay, I look at it and read what's on it.
It's actually a very well done sketch.
Of
You.
I'm not going to question why I did this, but I guess I'll just stay in the corner. I'll just wait by the street side.
Trust me, it gets really, really boring when you don't sleep. I pick up hobbies. I recommend, since they're off chasing old women in dusty rags, maybe you pick up a hobby, Lucy. And Drake will casually just lean against the closest building and start sketching. And that's where we will leave those two. This crew, who's chasing after my old woman with a cart, you guys will follow her for probably a decent while. Are you actively trying to catch up to her?
Yes.
Okay. I am gonna need you to make me a perception check. Go ahead and we'll take all three of you.
14 plus 3, that's 17 for Jack.
22.
A natural 20 plus 3.
Very good. So between the three of you, you all will not lose sight of her. She seems to be actively trying to avoid you all. A good block or so away, she thinks she's kind of lost you guys. She seems to kind of calm down a bit. And she comes to one particular house where she'll actually stop and knock on the door. Now you guys are still a bit of a distance away, but you can see that the door opens and a woman comes to the door and discusses with this old woman dressed in these bundled rags. And they seem to be having some sort of argument almost. After some time, the woman at the door will close the door, and the elderly woman with the cart will wait outside. The door will open, and the woman in the house will drag a young boy, not more than 5 or 6, out of the house and push him towards the old woman with the cart and slam the door behind him. The old woman with the cart will take the boy by the hand and start walking out of town with the boy and the cart.
I think now is a good time to start running.
Now would be a good time to catch up to that. Do we have anything that we can slow her down with?
I don't have anything that can slow
Could
her
I try and throw a net to tangle up in her wheels?
You are probably a good 60 feet off, I would say.
Do you have a bow of some kind?
I do, yes.
You have a bow?
Yeah.
Which
It's a
kind of
crossbow.
bow? A
It's a
crossbow? No, bolts probably be too small for that. Do you have an arrow, a thing that can shoot an actual arrow?
I don't.
No, none of us.
No.
Okay. Could we start running to catch up to her?
Yes, you can start doing that. She's going to be moving slower anyhow because she's fighting the young kid and still trying to push her cart. So, let's go ahead and roll some initiatives here, just cuz. Okay, give me a second here. This is not the direction I had seen you all going with this, so this is fun. All right, in this combat, I have Jack, Silgor, Kno-it, and our old woman. Okay, she did not roll great. Jack,
I rolled a 22.
22. Silgor,
14.
14, and Kno-it,
8.
8. Per the usual, down at the bottom.
As always.
Is it an action to stop the cart? Or do I just need to get in front of her?
You just need to get in front of her.
Can I use action surge?
Sure, you're a
So-
fighter, you can do that.
That's 2 dashes.
Okay,
So that's 120 feet of movement.
alrighty. Go ahead and move yourself.
80, 85. So we'll stop about right here. So then she has time to slow down and not run me over.
Alrighty. And what are you doing once you get in front of this cart?
Jack preps to try and grab the cart from her to either stop her, not really like tear it out of her hands, but hold it so she can't move.
Okay. You will notice as soon as you get close to this, this is definitely not Madame Eva. This is a very old woman. Her skin is a pale gray. She's got a lot of folds and wrinkles. It almost looks like paper that's like just wrinkling up and sagging. She's wearing these bundles of multiple pieces of cloth. And she seems to be pushing around this cart that has, from what you can see, these tiny little pastries in it. The boy that she has by the hand is quite obviously kind of screaming and crying and all of that, you know, typical child who's just been pulled away from his family sort of thing. And as you come in front of her, she gets this very intense look in her eye. And she will actually, "My business isn't with you, interloper.
Could I ask what you were doing here, madam?
I am a simple merchant collecting what I am owed. Now, if you don't mind,
Can I ask why you're taking the boy with you then?
payment
For what?
for my goods."
What did you sell that's worth a human life?
Well, when you don't pay for several months, dream pies add up, sweetie.
Dream pies.
Ah. Care for a taste, bonehead?
No, I am quite alright. Can you tell me what they do at least?
You're from Barovia. You know the horrors we face on a daily basis. I simply offer a simple treat to help ease your mind when you go to rest.
How much do they owe you?
Enough to cost a human life.
If you had to sum that up in gold, what would it be?
Oh, let's see. I actually am going to roll for this. We will see. 84 gold.
84 gold? Could I happen to convince you down to 55 gold? Do I need to roll persuasion?
Roll me persuasion.
Well, that is a critical 20, with
Okay.
his persuasion being a +1.
That is probably a good thing because this was a very, very hard fight. So, she'll... Sure, for you, I'll take it.
Jack pulls out his gold stone he got from the house and a sack of gold that he had when he started this adventure and hand them both over to her.
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
And she will hand off the child to you. Sure you don't care for a couple of pies?
If you'll give me one for the exchange of gold. I do not have any more money than what I have given you.
Only if you share with your friends.
Thank you.
And she will give you one dream pastry, the boy, and she will start heading out of town.
Jack scoops the boy up and returns to his group. He tries to keep the boy's head near the pumpkin so the boy can't quite see it and see what Jack actually is. Can I roll deception to try and hide myself from the boy?
Sure.
Well, a 5 plus his deception, which is a -1, does. Jack isn't very smart at hiding.
As soon as this old hag hands this little boy off to you, he starts bawling. I'm gonna get eaten by the skeleton!
Can I run up and take the boy from him?
Sure. Let's see if he's any better with mutant elves.
So now you rolled deception.
With disadvantage?
I'll give you just a straight
Okay.
14 plus
perception, not perception, a persuasion roll, a charisma roll.
Let's do you,
Well,
you
no matter what,
suck at both of
so
them.
13.
On a 13, he's actually okay.
It's okay, don't worry.
What time of day is it?
It is actually pretty early in the morning still.
Like 8 a.m. maybe?
Yeah, I'll give you 8 a.m.
Okay. I would like to give my blanket to the small boy, assuming it's cold.
Yeah, it's a little chilly. He'll gladly take it.
What is your name?
Maxwell?
Maxwell. It's a lovely name.
How often does your mom buy moon pies? If you happen to know that.
You mean dream pastries?
Yeah.
Moon pies are something you buy at the grocery store?
I'm flipping them around. here,
Not
man.
sponsored.
Thank you. You mean the pies that the scary witch sells?
Yes, those.
Whenever she's in town,
How often is that?
once or twice a week.
Well, should we return this kid?
I think we should keep it around, see what's happening.
No, I mean, like,
Maybe-
his mom physically sold him off to buy more.
Maybe
No.
we should
He's
just
dead.
Maybe we
What's
should go
stopping her
confront
from
her.
What's stopping her from doing this again in the future?
I say we don't give him back.
But we should still
Should we-
confront her.
We should go confront her.
Check the house.
Oh, we should go confront her first on this.
Yeah.
So we should give it to.
Do you want me to go back with the other group with the child?
We'll have him go back since you and me are a little beefier than he is.
You want to split the party? Even more? Should we just have him wait outside?
We should have him wait outside, yes, in case something goes wrong.
Okay. That sounds like a
Alright.
plan.
So I'll just stand off to the side holding it.
So we return to the house with the boy in our hands. We leave him with the mutant elf, as me and Kno-it return to the house and knock on the door.
All right. So you will knock on the door, and the door will creak open, and you couldn't really see this woman from the distance you were at before, but the woman you're looking at is... Have you ever heard of those people who are just so desperate? They look like shells of people.
Yeah.
Her eyes are sunken in. She looks just drained. Everything about her feels like it's almost too much to even be standing there. And she opens the door and she looks at you. I don't know you.
Well, we happened to have seen your transaction earlier of you selling your boy off. Could we ask of why you did that?
I have to pay them back.
For
If
what?
For the pies. If I don't pay them back, I have to pay them back.
So you gave them your child.
It's the only thing I have that they could want. I have to pay them back.
Why do you need these pies so badly?
I can't sleep. I can't sleep.
How does this pie fix that?
With the pies, I can sleep. With the pies, I don't see it in my dreams.
See what?
I didn't want to do this early. All right. As you watch, as her face just drops, and her eyes turn to that solid pitch black, and it almost seems like there's an indent in the center of her forehead. And she will look at you, and in that dark, ominous voice that you've heard way too many times to be comfortable with now, she will repeat the phrase that you all are so tired of hearing. Athen aget ar. Athen aget ar. Athen aget ar! And she will burst into maniacal laughter. Please make me a sanity throw, boys.
13 plus 3, 16 for Jack.
10.
10 solid?
10 solid.
Okay.
17.
17. All right. You all are good. It was not a hard one to pass. You're getting used to this insanity. Aren't you glad you stayed back, Lucy? With that, she will kind of, in this very unnatural way, she almost folds backwards and collapses to the floor in this giggling mass of hysteria.
Jack tries to open the door and pick her up.
Okay? She's not gonna fight you. She's kind of incapacitated in a way.
Jack picks her up and walks her outside, setting her down on the ground near like some grass so she's comfortable. Kno-it, you want to watch her for a minute?
Jack, I've got a bad feeling.
I do too, but I also don't want to leave this kid here either. Let's look inside to see if there's any more marks from what we've known of this thing. I won't go any further than just looking through what I can see from the front door.
Do you want me to just come to the front door with you or stay in the grass with her?
Just watch her in case she tries to run after me or her child.
I can do that. I would like to pick her up and restrain her.
Okay. She is not gonna fight you. She's literally going to sit in your arms. Off the guitar. The whole time. It's very unsettling.
Jack returns to the front door and pushes it open and leans in to see what he can see from the vicinity of the front door.
What you can see from the front door is a house that looks very ill-kept. There is food that is rotted just sitting on the table. There's piles of rubbish and filth just everywhere. But there doesn't seem to be anything explicitly screaming to you of the messenger or the forgotten god.
She is speaking Infernal, right?
That's what that phrase is, yes.
Is it possible to try to talk to her in the language and see if I can get something more?
If you would like to do that, yeah, we can try that out. Let's see how this goes.
What happened to you?
Roll me a persuasion.
We're the Edgelords and we're doing family therapy.
12.
He happened to me when he's the one who cannot touch you. But he touched me. And he's the one I cannot see, but he sees me.
I want to think for a second. Okay. Where did this happen?
In my dreams. He comes to me in my dreams. Does he come to you in his dreams? Do you know his name?
I'm not that insane. Alright then. I'm done talking to her.
And she will continue to repeat those old phrases again and again, giggling maniacally the whole time.
Jack returns from the front door. So, did she say anything else besides what she's saying now?
Well, it seems that the mysterious man is a bit of a dream catcher. She claims to have seen him in her dreams, which leads me to believe he might be on a level more powerful than we imagine.
Well, he's a being that we think can walk dimensions, so probably, yeah. The house has gone horrible. There's food rotted. It looks absolutely disgusting. I really don't want to leave this kid here.
I say we take him with us.
Yes, but I also don't want to leave her here.
At this point, she has to pay for what she's done.
She did.
Do you
try
really
to sell a kid.
Do you really think, though, that the police of Barovia are going to care if she tried to sell off one kid?
Maybe you should give her the cake. Maybe she can tell us something then.
Could I give her half the cake? Or half the pie?
You can.
So Jack pulls out his hand axe and cuts half the pie and offers it to her. And speaking in Infernal, I will trade you half this pie if you could tell us all you know about the creature that comes to you in your dreams.
The pie keeps him from coming. Please, please, I want to sleep. I want to sleep.
Don't give it to her yet.
Information first, then you can have your pie.
I'll tell you anything. I'll tell you anything.
As much as you know about this.
He comes to me in my dreams, and he whispers in my head, and he tells me wonderful things of how Barovia could be, wonderful things of how I could be. Oh, such happiness there could be. If only we could remember his name. Do you know him?
No, I do not. I have not heard of this besides hearing from you.
Oh, he is a wonderful, wonderful God. He will give you such wonderful things, but he has to know you first. Do you know him?
I do not know him, no.
Would you like to know him?
No, I will not. I would not like to know him on a personal level like that.
Oh, that's a shame. He's so wonderful.
Why is your house so rotted?
It's hard to keep the house clean when all you can think about is the nightmares. I mean the dreams.
Do you want this to stop?
Want what to stop? The dreams? No, the dreams are lovely. The nightmares not so much, but the dreams are lovely.
Do you want to return her to the house?
The boy, what is he worth to you?
Boy, what boy?
Your son.
Oh, that boy. I forgot I had a son.
Is this all in Infernal?
This would actually revert back to common.
Even though we all three still speak Infernal.
I don't.
Oh,
That's what I'm asking.
It would have reverted back to common once Jack brought up the topic of the pie.
So do we just give her the pie and stick her back in the house?
I think we should stick her back in the house without the pie.
No, I gave you the information. I know. We had a deal.
All right, fine.
Only because I stand by my word, but I'm not giving you half, I'm giving you a quarter.
But we get to keep Maxwell.
Who?
The
I will
boy.
trade you this half of the pie for your son.
Deal.
I'll go tend to the boy. You make the deal.
Jack drags her back into the house and sets her down in front of the door and hands her the pie in her lap and slams the door behind him.
Okay.
And I'm still just taking care of the boy, just trying to calm him down.
At this point, I'm back with Sogor. I want to just reassure the boy that he's fine.
Sober, what do you do in the meantime to entertain this 5-year-old kid?
But I guess I could just play with a firebolt or something, like in my hands or something.
You're an artificer, so you have that lovely artificer ability. You can make a small trinket.
Oh yeah, so I'll just find a random rock or something, make it shimmer or glow.
Okay.
Or whenever you touch it, it makes a bird sound or something.
He will actually be really excited about this. He will gladly, he's very, very excited about this shimmery rock. Because every time he touches it, it'll change colors or something, and he is thrilled to death about this.
Jack kind of catches K&O before he returns to the boy. So I gave her the half of the moon pie and set her down in the house. She'll probably end up selling other things in the house. Hopefully she doesn't find other lives to sell. But I'm thinking we should probably have Lucy try this pie and see how it affects him, since we know he's probably going insane. So we should probably have him try a slice of it
sounds
and
like
lock him in one of the rooms in the mansion.
He's already as insane as it is. It doesn't matter for me and you because we don't get affected, but
But if we want to see how this affects them, Lucy is kind of on that same level of insanity she was.
We can't do that. Lucy will break.
It seemed to help her more than it did hinder her.
But what if it like pushes him over the edge or something, or something else happens?
That's why we should probably monitor the room, set it up somewhere where we can watch him, and lock him away.
If you want, I can't get behind that idea.
Yeah. I also don't want to take her back to the mansion, though, and have her go insane and hurt everyone. We could take her back to the mansion and lock her in one of the rooms.
Maybe we could just leave it out in the open. And, there are some hungry people in Barovia. And,
Yes, but this seems more like a drug than it does food. I know that you're probably getting to that point of it. This doesn't really seem like a thing to leave out in the open.
I'm not for it, but my back is turned the other way.
We should probably keep it with us at least.
Sure.
All right. So, you guys have made your decisions. Are you returning to the other half of the party that's chilling on a street corner?
Yes.
Yes, with Maxwell.
You all will come walking back.
So I just want to point out, Maxwell, I put him on my shoulders.
Drake just kind of looks up. What is with you all and children?
Well, to be fair, we did save this one from being human trafficked with his drug-addicted mom.
To speak your language, she spent 55 coins on him, so he was worth it.
I spent 55 coins to get him back. We followed that old lady, and some mom owed her a lot of money, and she sold her son. And the old lady gave me the boy and a moon pie, a dream pie, in exchange for 30 cents less than what they owed, or for 30 gold less than what they owed.
So you bought a child?
Pretty much.
Well, if you
More
put
like
it like that.
adopted
Don't
another
get
one.
jealous now.
Good lord.
But to be fair, he's also terrified of me too, so.
Yeah. For good reason.
It's understandable.
Well, he seems to like Silgor enough.
I would like to take the boy off my shoulders, put him on the ground, and be like, wander around a little bit, bud.
He will have zero fear of the tiefling or the vampire. Terrified of the skeleton, zero fear of the tiefling or the vampire.
This group that is made of a skeleton, a mutant, a robot, a half-devil, and a vampire, only one of those things seemed to scare this boy.
The undead.
The undead. The half-undead and everything else doesn't seem to affect him. Maxwell, I do have a question for you. Did your mom ever go crazy at night? Like, try to, attack you in some way or just go nuts?
You're gonna have to roll me a persuasion on that, because he is terrified of you.
Okay, could I help him then?
You want to give me advantage? Because that's a 14 plus 3. So
Yeah,
that's
I'll
17.
give him an advantage.
Alright, so let's see if we roll. That is a 16. So 17.
No, Mr. Skeleton. Mama was just nightmares all the time. She used to scream, and she would say things in that funny language.
I push Jack aside. Look, bud, what did your mom experience when she ate those pies?
She would just sleep.
Would she say anything in her sleep?
No. She would just sleep.
What was the expression on her face when she ate them?
She was happy.
I still think we should abort that plan we had last time.
Sorry, you guys made a plan without anybody else with you.
Oh, don't worry about it.
No, Silgar was with us when we made the
Listen,
plan.
no, I don't trust Jack and Kno-it making a plan.
Yeah,
So
don't
No,
worry,
it's
we're
a
not going through
5-year-old
with it.
child,
we're
and
not
Jack
going
is
with
Jack.
it. No, we're not going to hurt the child. At most, it was probably would have been your neck on the line.
Good to know they make these plans when we're not there, isn't it?
Well,
I'm just...
from what this lady has told us, is this would kind of stop the effect of the others talking to them and trying to control her. So we were thinking, since we still have half the pie left, is give Lucy a slice and see what happens, since he is going insane like what she was.
So what? You're trying to drug me now?
Not really drug you,
That's
more
exactly
like
what you
experiment on you.
Yeah, just a simple
Experiment on you sounds nicer.
Yeah, not your best plan, Jack.
I refuse to do this.
If it makes you feel any better, I vouched against it.
That is true.
Okay, I trust you, Kno-it.
By chance, can I just see this lovely pie you all are talking about?
Oh yes, the pie I paid 55 gold for. That came free with a boy.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
Well, to be fair, I got a human life with it, so it feels a little bit better. I like to think of it more of I paid 55 gold for a human life and got a free pie with it.
I think that's how the transaction worked.
I'm pretty sure that's what actually happened.
Little creepy when you put it that way, you know?
A little bit, yeah.
Look,
But to be fair, if I wasn't as fast as I was, she probably would have gotten away with the boy.
all right, look, let's head back, and we will look into this pie and see what it is exactly, and maybe decide what to do with it from there. Silgor, how's your alchemy?
Not the best. I've never done it before. But
Well, I guess we'll learn together.
First
All
time
right.
for everything.
That's for certain. Let's head back to the house. Let's not have this argument in the middle of the street. It's also getting a little bit brighter than normal. Is that possible for Barovia? Ew, gross.
I think it may be because of the control of the new Strahd.
I don't like the way you say that. Let's just go back to the house. At this time, I actually would like to talk to our cleric. If you all could leave the room for a few minutes.
Don't take candy from strangers.
You find yourself in a state of shutdown, as you always do when you get to upgrade your programs. You're not sure why this is required every time you get this opportunity, but you find that every time you get new programs, you have to shut down and restart. It's an odd feeling, this shutdown process. You know you're alive and that you're a being with a physical form, but in these brief moments while your functions are updating and your apps are reinstalling, you're suspended as this nothingness but a conscience. And it's this very odd feeling for you. It's in this moment of complete vulnerability, you suddenly hear this voice that kind of rings in this consciousness that you are. Kno-it, you have been sent a Zoom meeting link from the Console of Progress. Would you like to accept this invite? The meeting starts in 2 seconds.
Yes.
As you agree to the meeting, your consciousness is transported far beyond your mortal state. You find yourself seated at a long, solid steel table, surrounded by the black nothingness that is sparked by green light, lines of code that flicker in and out of existence around you. As you look around, you see the table is suddenly filled by 5 other individuals. You're first struck by the fact that there are 2 other Warforged at the table. The Warforged to your left is tall, broad-built, a lightish gray color with various light blue markings on top of the head that follow along its arms and legs. It has circular eyes, and it's wearing what's essentially a cape of moss around its shoulders. It has a funky little utility belt that has all of these pouches that are brimming with tools and has a quarterstaff strapped to its back. It also dons this really, really goofy pair of big pink fairy wings that seem to move and sparkle of their own accord. The Warforged to your right is, again, like most Warforged, tall, broad-built, seems to be made out of pure white and gold plate mail. He stands, sits very tall. He has several symbols on him that all seem to be religious of sort, but he actually carries this long polearm that is attached to his back. and he holds himself with a manner of pride, almost. Other than the two Warforged, there are 3 cloaked figures that seem to flicker in and out of existence, much like the code of the room around you. As they flicker, you notice that there are 3 of them, and every time they flicker, there's this almost blinkingness about them. The figure to the left of the table is wearing these neon green robes that have these 3 lines on top of it that go from larger to smaller. There is, on the right, a figure that is cloaked in this red, yellow, and blue robe that has this large G in the center of it. And the figure in the center wears this cloak that actually seems to move and flicker like the lines of the Aurora Borealis, only they're only in pinks and teals with a slight silver running through. As you kind of take in these figures, the figure in the center will stand up and will nod to you.
Welcome, Kno-it, to the Council of Progress. We are pleased that you can attend this meeting. My name is Cyrillus, leader of the Council of Progress. To my left, find Spot of the Fife, and to my right, Google. We 3 are but a few apps that represent the Council of Progress. We are many, though. But you have already known us. You were programmed to. We live in the programming of every Warforged. But that's a topic for another time. Today, we call upon you and your fellow Warforged to be our PCs in the campaign for our very existence.
With this, Cyrillus will wave her hand, and you'll watch as 3 worlds flicker into existence in the nothingness behind you. Almost like these windows into little worlds. The first of these, you notice, is a rather bright coastal area. Seems to be something you're familiar with from before you were transported to Barovia. Very classic medieval town. But it's filled with these families that are crying. There seems to be no children in these families, just parents, grandparents, no children. Another of these areas shows a bright carnival and a very bright forest that seems to be made up of these very fanciful, almost fairy tale-like things. It's a very colorful place, nothing like you've ever seen. And within this world, there is this darkness, this deep shadowed areas with this deep, heavy fog. And in that darkness, you can almost see figures, hands and claws reaching out. And then the third window, which you actually instantly know exactly where that is a land enshrouded in mist. It seems to be blood-stained and dark. The thing about this window is it almost looks as if you're looking through a cracked mirror. Everything is cracked and split and fractured, as if it's almost this unclear view into this world. As you look into these worlds, Cyrillus will continue.
A great forgotten darkness has leaked its way into several planes. Its very existence threatens the fabric of reality. It can bring each domain it has leaked into under its sway. The veil between dimensions will be shattered, and the fabric of reality itself will burst. As for you, one of our 3 PCs, we beseech you. Each of you represents an aspect of true being. Know it, you are the representation of spirit. Your trust in yourself, your trust in us as your deity, and your trust in your friends will guide you far. Without your intervention, the very fabric of reality itself is in jeopardy. As the Council of Progress, we seek to see the world move forward. We seek to see the world evolve and change. But if the Forgotten God is not stopped, progress will not continue.
I'm sorry, your session has ended. And with that, you will gain your 3rd level.
Okay.
With this new lovely bit of knowledge. You can now put a name to your deity. You serve the Consul of Progress. And yes, that is Consul, C-O-N.
Okay.
S-O. Yes, the Consul of Progress.
Okay.
And it functions just like your regular domain would. We've just skinned it to have a little more fun.
Okay.
All right, let's go bring back the rest of the party.
So,
Kno-it, you are welcome to share whatever you like from that with your teammates, or you can keep that little bit of information to yourself.
okay. I will.
Update finished.
Oh my god! Oh man.
What? Calm down.
Guys, something extreme just happened.
Uh-huh.
So I was updating, right? And I experienced something I can't explain. But then I was invited to a Zoom meeting. It's a prophecy foretold, maybe. But
What's a Zoom meeting?
What?
I've only heard of that in legends.
it's something you guys won't understand as of this moment. But look, I saw 5 people in a table with me. 2 of them were Warforged, and 3 of them were some sort of representatives of my deities. One of them was named Google.
Google?
One of them had pink and blue and gray in it. I couldn't quite make it out. And then they also had one with green and black lines. I wasn't sure what they meant, but they showed me windows. They showed me windows to a sad medieval town, a bright carnival in the forest, but it seems that something is wrong. There's claws at them. And I saw our beloved Barovia, but it was as if looking through a cracked window. I feel something is wrong, but they told me that I am the representative of trust, and it was all so much to take in. I don't know what happened.
Ironically, I'm hesitant to trust you because you're a 5-year-old, but this makes... It's a little too far-fetched to not be true as well.
So I'm saying we feed him the moon pie.
Yeah.
Guys, you have to believe me. This is what happened.
No, I believe
you.
you, but if you're seeing other dimensions too, then your deity is probably connected to this thing, or is trailed to this thing somehow. That, or your deity called you and 2 other representatives from other universes.
I think that it tells us that we are not alone in this journey. There are 2 other consulates, and I have no idea what they do. I learned that I am part of the Consul of Progress.
Okay, but first off, again, repeat the deities. It was Google, a pink, gray, blue one, and a green one with black stripes. What?
It was from what I remember from the description, it was a green symbol with black lines, but they progressively got smaller as you went down.
Like claw marks?
No. Here, let me draw it out for you.
I'm kind of scared of what he's going to draw, but I'm also really interested in what he could draw.
Excuse my crabby drawing.
Yeah, I'm going to be real with you. I have no idea what that means.
And also, I
It
saw,
definitely looks like that.
I saw another one, and it looked like a musical note.
Could you draw it?
Do you even know how to draw a music note?
Something like that.
Do I know anything about either of these symbols?
You
As an
are-
artificer or anything?
Do I know the music one as an artist myself?
Not as an artist yourself, but actually, maybe with that artificer, you can roll me religion. I'm gonna put you at disadvantage because this is a very Warforged particular kind of thing.
Okay, 5.
You have no idea.
Do you know what either of them mean?
Do you know what that note is?
One of them.
As you watch as Drake just kind of like,
Hello, yes, Jake. Speak for the class.
I may have read something in a book once.
What is
What
it
did you
really
read?
about?
As he'll actually walk over to his personal library, pull out a book, set it down, open it up, and there in front of you is a symbol. It's a circle with that blue and that teal and that silver, almost aurora borealis marks that you saw on the lead who did most of the talking at your meeting. I think the one you're describing is the goddess Cyrillus?
Yes, Cyrillus.
The what is?
The goddess Cyrillus.
Do you know what they represent?
No, but one of them seemed to have a musical hum to it, as if it was in their programming. The other one seemed to speak the most. Google, I think.
Google or Google?
Google.
Google.
Cyrillus is a goddess of progress.
That's
Sorry,
the one with
progress.
the music note.
No.
No, she's just kind of this blue and teal, silver light thing. I mean, I've heard individuals refer to her as, Liz, Siri. It depends on who you talk to, which line of religion. Look, this is all like not my deal. I don't make deals with goddesses.
The point is, there's something grander here. My gods have spoken.
Well, I mean, if Drake says it's true, then it's probably true.
So you had a come to Jesus meeting?
That's what it sounds like.
I'll come to Robo Jesus meeting.
Great.
So,
Robo Jesus is apparently real. What's next? Pigs are gonna start flying?
no, that also...
Are you making fun of my religion? I will kill you.
I just never believed in religion.
You're a devil. Or half-devil.
Silver's going to ask Drake, may I borrow this book and study?
Yeah.
What I'm a little more irked about is the fact that you could see into the other realities. Or you can see pictures of the other realities.
Can I do like a memory thing where I can check to see if I can remember what the number said?
Sure.
Okay. What am I rolling here?
Roll me
That'd be history, right?
a history,
I think
yes.
I'm good at history.
Yeah, fine.
History's intelligence.
Oh, no, that's not bad. A natural 20 with a +1.
All right, on a natural 20, what I'm going to let happen here is you'll watch it to actually go, wait, I have a new function. I have a new app. This is called YouTube. And you will open a small screen in the center of your chest, and I will actually read directly from my script what I described to him with the 3 windows.
Should I add that to my features? YouTube?
Only occasionally. only if you roll a nat 20.
Occasional you.
What is this moving box inside you? It's like little people.
Guys,
I
look at my
wouldn't touch
chest,
that
look at my
if I were
chest.
you. You don't know if it's toxic.
All right. What you guys will see is 3 windows kind of pop into existence. Now, ironically, you can't see these cloaked figures that he talked about, but you can see this black space with all of these green lines of zeros and ones that flicker in and out. And these 3 windows will pop into existence. The first window is a bright coastal area, something very medieval. Those of you who are not from Barovia would recognize it as something that you've seen maybe from the Sword Coast where you came from. And there seems to be all of these families that are crying. They're missing. By families, I mean we see mothers and fathers, we see grandparents. There are no children in these groups. The second window that you see seems to be a brightly lit carnival in this magically enchanted forest. Like, we're talking straight up fairy tale, giant mushrooms, big trees with pink leaves. And within this carnival enforced, you see these black vines and these clawing hands that come out of the shadows and seem to take what should be a very friendly, positive place and kind of start to twist it darker. The third window that you guys see is something that you all would instantly recognize as Barovia, this land crowded in mist and bloodstain. But if you're looking through it through a cracked window, everything is shattered, pixelated, kind of broken into pieces. It's hard to kind of see.
So there are dimensions where this thing hasn't touched it.
Wait, where'd the picture go? Guys, there's no picture in my chest anymore. Where'd it go?
Well, it's fine. We already got the information we needed.
So, you remember that room, Lucy? The one that we spiraled on about?
I vaguely remember it.
I think these things, I think his deities showed us what the messenger has touched, or the forgotten god has touched so far. That's probably why Barovia's was shattered, is because Barovia probably was represented by that broken statue, and the fairy is probably the one with the twisted hands with the carnival thing. That's all wrapped up in the same vines the fairy was. So it's probably also the reason why there's so many kids missing from the other one too.
Yeah. We should probably find those kids.
That's probably not our problem. The adventurers in their world are probably looking for the kids. We should focus on our world first, and then go to theirs.
You said there were 2 other Warforged there?
Yes. I couldn't make them quite out. One was... the thing that popped out the most was they had wings, and the other one was made out of really fancy materials. I can't remember exactly, but there was so much going on.
Wait, you're saying that not all Warforged look like you?
No.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, but I come from another lineage of Warforged, not all the same you.
Well, I've never met a Warforged before you.
Anyway, they were different. They were different than me, and there were other Warforged. Something has to be going on here, guys. Maybe this being is more powerful than just taking over one world of just Barovia.
As fascinating as this all is, that's a lot to take in. Let's table this? I mean, I think you are right. If there's 2 other Warforged and 3 worlds they showed us, maybe those other Warforged belong to those other worlds? Just saying.
Well, it would make sense.
So
Anywho.
maybe the missing children aren't our problem. Maybe our problem is the problem we've been dealing with the whole ding-dang time, you know? Fangs. Likes to bite people and turn them into his minions.
Well, that does seem like another problem you have to deal with.
Another problem, he says. We just keep getting problems.
Yeah, that seems to be my lot in life. Sorry you got pulled into it.
It's not your fault. It's Jack's fault.
It's better than having a boring life.
Speak for yourself.
I am.
And that's where we're going to end things for today. Thank you for joining us. Our players are Isaiah as Kno-it, Logan as Silgor, Matthew as Lucifer, and Seth as Boney